Hello everybody, Roderick here. Welcome to another Dokkan battle video. So today we're going to be talking about some details regarding the Future Saga celebration for this global Dokkan campaign. Well, in terms of details, just gonna make a little speculation regarding maybe some upcoming EZAs that we could get during this whole shebang during the global Dokkan campaign. Seemingly that looks like to be a full Future Saga celebration. So we're gonna go ahead and deep dive into some of the lineups. As you guys can see, I have all these tabs open, and we can be able to talk about some of these characters that have been able to get their EZAs. I'll also show you like an image. Shouts to our boy in the community, Prof. He was able to share this image with me. Let me know about some EZAs for the Future Saga celebration that's bound to come down, and maybe like a little wish list that we could make regarding some upcoming EZAs. But before we proceed, I would like to let you guys know that we are partnered and sponsored by GamerSubs. You guys know GamerSubs is the ultimate energy and focus formula that, you guys know me, it keeps me up at night and be able to do the things that I'm able to do, like waking up at 4:30 and still have the energy to be able to put up videos and get those streams going. Remember that you guys can be able to go in and use my code Raudokun at checkout, and you can be able to get yourself 10% off your purchase. So do make sure to click the link in the description so you guys can be able to get yourself some GamerSubs, and I appreciate GamerSubs for sponsoring and partnering with us. Alright, back to the video. So let me give you the image right here. Actually, I needed to make sure that I popped this up before I showed the product placement. GamerSubs, we love GamerSubs here. Let me go ahead and put the little image here. All right, so here we have some details, right? Like these little wish lists of EZAs that we could get. Some of these units could get their EZAs during the celebration, man, and it seems very likely that we could possibly get them. So I'll go through each and every single one of these guys and have a little bit of a formal discussion as to what they can do with their EZAs and things like that. But again, shouts to our boy Prof for sending this picture and letting us share it with us. So first and foremost, I feel like one of the most anticipated EZAs that people could see during the celebration is this LR Future Saga Trunks and Vegeta, also known as Vegeta Trunks. I don't know why I butchered their names. So when these guys came out, which it's sort of lining up to the point where these guys have been out for almost 3 years now. These guys were really, really good. Very good defensive options. I remember when they came out, some of these guys, like, they were the it factor to try to take down some of these like hardcore fights back in 2022. I remember, like, if you didn't have them, there was no way that you can be able to take down some of the content that was available during that time. Of course, everything changed when we got to 2023 and we got the worldwide download celebration and the Future Saga, and we thought, man, Future Saga, I feel like Vegeta Trunks do still have it, but they got power crept severely during that time, and I feel as though they could get something really, really nice, especially due to the fact that they stack on their 18 key. They can be able to get some races in attack and defense on super on the 12 key. So what we could possibly see from them is that maybe we can see some upgrades to this, maybe a 50% raise in attack and defense for the turn, or just a permanent raise in attack and defense. Just make them ultra busted. These guys can get like a massively raise defense and just greatly raise in attack. Just ideas I'm throwing out, because see this right here, they're just gaining attack and defense by 20%. So it's just the normal stacking, but it's gonna be a lot slower for these guys than the considerable other guys that we've gotten throughout the past few months, where they can be able to stack defense at a 30% rate. They're also able to get defense by getting hit as well. If you put them on as the first attacker in the turn, they could possibly get some damage reduction in here. This condition as well. we could possibly see it a little bit more extended. We can see a bit more from this. I don't think they're gonna need like another unit surrounding this character, because there have been some instances where we get ECAs and then you have to depend on the unit getting another character with them in order for them to do some extra stuff. So I feel like this could be a massive ECA, especially with the units that we're going to be receiving, the Blue Goku and Blue Vegeta. So I can see it, man. They can have some really nice stuff, especially with this, like the defense rates for the allies for the turn. We can see this getting increased and things like that. We can finally see the animation as well. These guys are unique. I don't think we will ever get another unit like this, Vegeta and Trunks. So they could get their own like battle motion. So that could be pretty sick. So all right, let's continue on with the next character we think that's gonna get an ECA, and it's this Gohan and Trunks, this future Gohan and Trunks here. So now we're deviating a little bit more to like the Sea Fighters type of Future Saga. We're not going into like the actual Future Saga from Dragon Ball Super. And I gotta tell you, man, like again, these guys are possibly now up to the point that they need to get their ECAs here. So again, regarding these guys, they were pretty nice when they came out. Their animations are also pretty good too. So they made this Gohan, of course, very like damaging, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we got the resistant attack there. I feel like we are overdue. Oh, what happened to the audio? What? No, the buffering. No. All right, give me 1 second. All right, we're back. Hopefully the OSTs don't freeze along the way. All right. So, but yeah, continuing on, these guys are overdue for their ECA, so it will be pretty nice to possibly see that if they're going to continue getting the whole Future Saga theme throughout the entirety of the celebration. We could possibly see some good stuff coming in from these guys, especially due to the fact that these guys link pretty well together. Yeah, they only share 4 links actually. Oh, okay, that's interesting. But you know, 2023 characters as well, they could be able to get their fair share of like shine, basically, due to the fact that these guys link up pretty well together. This guy has a KO, which actually, a revive actually, not a KO, which is interesting. Of course, he's gonna be a bit more damaging. This is also pretty good once at the end of the turn in which the character's revival skill is activated. Now, I really do hope that they just change this and just make it permanent. Just after the character's revival skill is activated, he gets the extra key, or just makes this, I don't know, maybe even more key, maybe key plus 10 or key plus 9. If they want to make it like Gohan. Actually, no, it's key plus 8, because Gohan is, Gohan is it's 5-8. And then, of course, the 58% damage reduction here as well. They can either keep that or they can increase it however they want to do it, but not to have it at the end of the turn, just so that it can stay permanently active. And then maybe get some extra damage reductions and even more attack power. 358% attack, maybe? Who knows? Yeah, these guys very overdue for their ECA, so I'm pretty sure that we can get to see their shine once more if it comes down to it. Their animations are also pretty sick too. And if we check the 200% leads, of course, Future Saga, we got some additions from the 220%, but that's 200% because of the HP, so the 200% plus. Yeah, it will be pretty sick to see these guys get their shine once more. So, all right, moving on to the next character that we think that was going to get a really well done ECA, I hope, is this Fusion Zamasu. So I made a discussion during the previous video, thinking about whether they should ECA this guy or they should give out the name change for this Fusion Zamasu, right? Because this is legitimately Fusion Zamasu. If we take a look at it, we are not going to be able to use this character due to the fact that they had the same name. So if they were to just correct that mistake, they add the corrupted portion either in parentheses, corrupted Fusion Zamasu, that would be perfect, because that way he can link up pretty well with this guy. Which again, this guy, that was one of the main like issues for me. Like when this guy came out on the global version, I was pretty excited to use this guy. And then of course a few months later we get this celebration, and it's like, well, we're gonna override utilizing that in Fusion Zamasu, because unfortunately this is the better guy. You're gonna have to use this guy rather than this guy. And it's like, no, that's why I want to use them both. These guys can be able to provide this Fusion Zamasu like a really good ECA. So look at all the abilities that this guy has. It's tremendous. 20% damage reduction, and this is all within the basic effects. He can be able to get damage reduction for every attack received up to 10%, which again, we want that a little bit more higher, so that way we can tank a bit decently. They can be able to make this guy really good, but the ways that you're going to have to do that is that you're going to have to run him if you do pull for the Goku Black and Zamasu unit. That way they can be able to share some pretty good links together and hope for the best, right? This is the only way that these guys can be able to link pretty well, right? Where the infinite Zamasu comes in, they share all of their links. As you guys can see, if they do the whole name change to corrupted Fusion Zamasu, they can do it, man. I can see them do it. Because of these guys being all transforming characters, they have their links active. So we can be able to see them pretty well linked up together. But I really want to see this guy make a comeback, man. It will be pretty good to be able to use him again. And especially during a time where extreme class characters are not being properly respected, I would say. So, alright, moving on, we have the androids. So again, following along with the Sea Fighters or the Sea Future Saga theme, if they're going to continue along with that trend during this global Dokkan campaign, then I can see these guys getting a pretty strong ECA. Again, I don't see them... It all depends, because of course these guys are from the Future Saga, but they're also on Android/Cell Saga. So I don't see them actually getting a better time to get an ECA unless they get like a pretty solid like Extreme Saga celebration, you know, or an Android celebration. Give us a Dokkan Fest Super 17 that is a lot better than the AGL one or something like that. I don't know. If they can do that, man, that would be amazing. But I'm thinking that these guys could ECA. Again, we're due to the time for them to get their ECAs on the global version. Of course, they released 6 months prior on the JP version, so these guys are from like 2021. So again, we can see them blow out some of these other like Sea Fighters characters. And of course, these guys are very infamous because of this, the Ghost Usher effect on their active skill. So they can be pretty good on certain scenarios. Of course, they're not going to be up to the theme of the part 1 celebration, so I'm thinking they could do something so they can make it so they can link up pretty well for the part 2 units, depending on what the part 2 units are going to be. A tag 17 and 18, man, that will go hard. That would be sick. Is that what the kids say nowadays? Would that go hard? Yeah, the Seal on Super, pretty nice. And then the raise in attack and defense. Getting these basic stats on their basic effects and things like that. If we get a little bit more of an increase, maybe giving them some damage reduction, they are able to nullify Kiba Supers as well, by the way. I think... man, I really want them to do this and just keep it guaranteed. Like, of course, it... yeah, HP is 35% or more. That's fine. Make it guaranteed, no matter the type of, like... Don't make it restricted to just having it 35% HP or more. Just make it, you know, guaranteed. Of course, it is going to be guaranteed if you have all the HP in the world. But if you're below, then of course that's not going to work out. So I really do want them to get that guaranteed Of course, they have the whole trend of 35 because 18 plus 17 equals 35. So, but yeah, these guys can be pretty good. If they do make them solid, and just give us another like good pairing for this celebration, that would be amazing. Like a tag 17 and 18 or something like that, something in relation to that, so they can be linking up pretty well together. Of course, these guys could ECA, but again, it's not a major Android celebration. These guys are more tied to GT, but yeah, these guys can get a pretty nice ECA. So. All right, moving on to the AGL transforming Trunks. So this guy came out, it feels like ages ago since this guy came out. I remember summoning for him. I think that STR Cooler came out alongside. Like, I remember Cooler came out and then this guy came out afterwards. But this guy's was, well, at least for the global version, he actually came out at 130, huh? Interesting. Why these characters came out at like 130? Huh. That's weird. Anyways, so when he came out, and not a lot of people enjoyed utilizing him, because of course we had the additionals that had a chance to become a super, and it's just additional normal. This reminds me of the Prime Battle TN that we just got, and of course Prime Battle TN has a guaranteed additional normal, which pisses me off. So instead of just doing additional normals, give us just guaranteed super attacks, because I think you do need to do as many super attacks or many attacks as possible, as you see down here, in order for him to get his transformation condition. Now, typically they don't mess around with active skill conditions due to the fact that it's tied to the coding of the game, so they won't interfere too much with activation conditions for active skills, but they can make it so it's a little bit easier, so these additionals can proc into supers. Just make it a little bit more easier, and again, a little bit more raise in defense, a little bit more on his passive would be pretty good. Maybe getting more attack and defense when attacking, getting 10% up to 70% defense whenever he attacks, things like that. Things of that nature, so they can make this guy pretty good. And of course, we have his transformed version, which is this Super Saiyan Trunks here. Oh, we do have the whole status effects as well. So if the character's in attack down or defense down status, he can get additional attack plus 50%. And then if the character's stunned or sealed, he can get an additional 50% attack. Now, yeah, there it is. So when all allies attacking the same turn are Android/Cell category characters. So he gets a 50% chance of stunning the attacked enemy for 2 turns. So this will help him proc that. Maybe he can get some attack lowering too on his super. I don't know. I highly doubt that they can do that. But he has a 50% raise in attack and defense on super. So they can make that so either he stacks that or make it a massively raise in attack and defense for the turn. Because when this guy came out, he, well, you know, you did the whole attacks here and then you transformed with this guy. He was pretty good. I don't remember he was able to hit pretty hard, but yeah, he was very, very good. So hopefully they can also change this condition. Of course, we're talking about the C Fighters Future Saga type. So characters from the Android/Cell saga are mostly in the Future Saga. So if they can correlate that with, you know, buffing these guys and getting like a proper Android/Cell saga characters, that will be also pretty good too. So yeah, and they can also change this whole leader skill condition. I do remember that HP 130 only. These guys have that too. No, it's just straight up key plus 3 170 to stats, so they can change this leader skill definitely. All right, moving along to the Future Saga now, just the actual super side. We have this Super Saiyan Trunks, and this guy can get a super ECA. So As you guys can see, not a lot was given out to him. This is a very old ECA, so it's been gonna be approaching 5 years. Actually, it already is. It's 5 years old after he got his ECA. So, of course, he works a bit more of a nuker style unit, because he randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow. And then, of course, if there's some key spheres collected that he gets the attack of a typical insult type. So he can get something more, right? Maybe he can get some crit chances. He can get some additional attack and defensive stats for every key sphere obtained, as you guys are seeing here. He's guaranteed to change STR. Maybe he can get another type of orb, so he can change it to int. Something to help impulse this guy, because he didn't get super high on terms of damage. Of course, the more key spheres you collect, the better it's gonna be for this guy, but not so much, right? So we can possibly see a bit more from this guy. Not a lot to talk about, it seems. He lowers defense. He raises superclass allies' attack by 30%. Hopefully he can be able to get some raise in defense too on super. So that way it can help him out. Actually, no, wait. No, because this is basically going to be the effect. Super ECAs typically only update their passives. So we can see a better upgrade for this, definitely. All right, moving on to this guy getting his Super ECA. Again, he has the instances of providing us some good stuff. Extreme class enemies' attack and defense minus 20%. Of course, this can go a little bit higher. And due to the Battle Hard and Formidable Foes events, those stages can let you lower attack and defense. So this is perfect. If we do get some updated stages for that, I'm pretty sure we're going to get a new type of event during this celebration. Maybe that event in particular we can be able to get enemies that can be attack and defense lowered. This guy supports as well, so the support can go high up. Maybe attack and defense plus 70%. Having the inclusion of attack, that would be pretty sick. And then of course, when attacking an extreme class enemy, you can be able to stun them, well, having a chance to stun. Maybe he can get a bit more of attack power during on his passive too. Again, close to 5 years, if not a bit over 5 years since this guy got his ECA. I do want to see an updated version of this guy, like a Dokkan Fest Blue Vegeta fighting Rose. That would be pretty sick if they do that. But of course, I do want them to super ECA this character as well. Maybe he gets 200% attack and defense. Maybe he gets a little bit more extra support. Add another category in here. Get some attack and defense per orb collected or something, just to help him out, because he does have a nice little super attack effect here. Raises attack and defense by 50% for 3 turns, so that can be pretty helpful with the type of bulky passive that they give some of these super ECA characters. That will also be like very, very good to have. So yeah, that will be very, very nice to see. All right, moving along to one of my most anticipated ones, Blue Vegito. When this guy gets a super ECA, bro, oh my god, man, that he's gonna be sick. So he has a tremendous leader skill as well. If you're kicking things off, like it's not much in terms of stats, but that's still pretty good. And then of course, keeping this as well, they can upgrade all of this. And of course, he counters, so he can be able to get even more damage reduction. Counters with tremendous power. That counter can hit pretty hard. Depending on getting hit, he can be able to get some attack. Great chance of launching an additional that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack. They can upgrade that. They can definitely upgrade that. So the additionals can come through as well. Maybe they can raise this up a little bit more. Maybe 180% attack and defense. Maybe 200% attack and defense. Make him solid. Make him explode. Because I would love this guy. I would love to use this guy again. The super ECA will be amazing. he can be able to hit, like, make him so that his counters hit pretty dang hard. Don't make it so that, like, I'm remembering the physical Super Vegito getting his ECA, and that was not a good look, right? So if they can make that, oh my god. And then of course with his counterpart Rose as well, oh, like, that could be also very, very good. So of course these guys got their ECAs very separately. Did they? I don't remember if they released Tech Vegito Blue alongside these guys, because this was during February. So we didn't have like the Saiyan Day celebrations, I think, yet. I don't know what celebration they had during this, but this guy, of course, ECA'd a lot later, even though they were pretty, yeah, they released at the same time. So 3 o'clock, dude, what? That was 27, I don't remember this. He released at 3 p.m. That's interesting. Okay. But yeah, higher support, you can definitely raise that up. And of course, for every attack received, he can be able to get some defense, maybe some damage reduction in here, getting some extra attack effects. Man, this is a 2020 ECA. This is how they designed this unit. What was pre-ECA? Man, that's sad. They didn't give him anything, just the extra attack raise. Man, that sucks. And then of course the extra attack support there. So they can definitely do some good stuff with this Rose. Make him a lot more tankier. That extra support, he can possibly raise that up to maybe 50% attack and defense. Adding the inclusion of defense is also going to be pretty good. So getting some extra attack and defense there. Attack while every attack perform, he gets attack. Or yeah, because he's going to be getting defense. Maybe raise this a little bit higher, up to 360. Make them busted, make them broken, please. And then of course we got some LR ECAs as well. So I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. I don't want this video to be too long. So yeah, Goku Black and Zamasu, these guys of course, they have the and percentage here. So it's Goku Black and Zamasu. It's not gonna be the same as the Goku Black plus Zamasu that's going to be releasing. So again, they're going to be linking up very perfectly if these guys get their super ECA available. So they already have a nice little super attack effect here, raising attack, raising defense by 30% for 6 turns. Very, very good. So they can be able to upgrade this a lot further, be able to get a bit more extra HP at the start of turn, be able to get some extra defenses. For every attack received, they get Ki +1, maybe raise that up a little bit more. And they can raise this definitely. They can be able to get some extra, maybe some extra damage reduction. I want them to make them tanky, but in addition to that, like, make them solid, like make them pretty crazy. That's one thing that I really want. I want them to make these guys so they can, you know, explode, you know. And actually have a solid composition of like the Future Saga team, like the extreme class side, just like they did with the Broly team, which that's gonna be another video that I'm gonna do. It's either later this evening or tomorrow, where we really got some really good substantial buffs for the extreme side. Like the Broly team got updated heavily to the point that team was amazing. So they can possibly do that with this, with the Future Saga team, just the extreme side, and make these guys pop off, right? We also got this guy who could get a Super ECA too. This OG Fusion Zamasu, very old as well. Of course, he debuff super class allies. I think, yeah, like if you had them on the team. So of course it was imperative to only run extreme class allies alongside this guy. He's able to raise extreme class allies' attack by 30%. Super classes enemies' attack and defense minus 20%, so they can also do that. They can do some wonders for these guys, man. just gonna speed it up for some of these other ones. These are gonna be like honorable mentions. So this Zamasu Goku, again from the Future Saga. When units like this come out during the anniversary, these guys are like more dead on arrival type units. So it's not super great whenever they get their ECAs immediately. So hopeful that they can do some stuff if they rather do that, right? For these guys, of course, it's a pretty old ECA actually. I do remember when he came out, where we had to farm him up and stuff, but yeah, he's pretty old. Then we got this OG Prime Battle of Lord Trunks. Seems like recently we did get his ECA campaign, so they can be able to do that with him as well. This is another one that I'm really intrigued if they're going to Super ECA. This STR LRVB. If they do that, man, that again changes the complexion of it, so that people are not upset that we didn't get a good Vegito, right? But again, they have their chances. They can be able to get some nice substantial buffs for the Superclass team. Of course, these guys very solid when this guy got his ECA. I think, does he have his equipment as well? I don't remember. Actually, I think he does. Disables the enemy's guard when attacking. That's cute. Hopefully we can be able to change that. But yeah, man, they can again definitely do some good stuff. And the last but not least is this Future Trunks here. Again, due to their, like, if we're leaning more into the Future Saga, they're covering everything from C fighters and the Future Saga from Super. They can be able to do this as well, like getting these guys getting their ECAs and stuff like that. Fighting a wicked bloodline enemy. Of course, this is when he does the slash on Mecha Frieza, so. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think regarding all these units getting their ECA/Super ECAs. A nice little wish list here made by good old Prof. Shouts to Prof again for lending us that beautiful image right here. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below how, like, what type of ECAs are you guys looking forward to. Of course, some of these guys have gotten their ECAs rather recently, or rather like not that late into the game, but we can be able to see them getting like a Super ECA and things like that. But yeah, I really want them to, if they're going to go all in for the Future Saga celebration, like I really want them to make it solid. Like don't disappoint us, Dokkan. If we're getting a Future Saga celebration instead of like Daima, make it solid, dude. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, check the links down below, get yourself some gamer subs, 10% off if you guys use my code Radokun at checkout. It's easy, and gamer subs is just beloved by the community instead of the choices that I guess Dokkan made. But hey, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see the kits and the details for these units, for the new units later tonight. So we will be live for that stream. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe. Let me know down in the comments below again what kind of, like, what is your wish list for units to get their ECA/Super ECAs for the Future Saga. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys all in the next one.